Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're kicking off a super energetic and frankly completely mouth-watering journey into culinary architecture. We're going to look really closely at how a simple fast casual menu is ingeniously constructed around one incredibly high-quality foundation. We are breaking down the beloved Five Guys burger menu, dissecting exactly how a few core ingredients are layered together to create a literal masterpiece. All right, let's dive right in.
So what makes the perfect burger? It's a debate food lovers have been having for decades, right? Well, today, we're going to answer it by looking at the brilliant additive architecture of a classic menu. As you'll see, starting with the absolute basics and carefully stacking elements completely transforms the flavor profile step by step. Section 1. The blank canvas, starting with the fundamentals.
You know, every masterpiece needs a base, and for us, that foundation is the simple hamburger, which relies on a really strict dedication to fresh, never-frozen beef. But listen, we definitely shouldn't look at this as just a plain burger. Instead, think of it as an exciting, literal blank canvas. Because this restaurant is famous for offering a huge list of free toppings, every single customer gets the ultimate opportunity to customize their meal. You can keep it mild and simple, or, take it all the way to fully loaded. The power is completely in your hands.
Now, the actual cooking execution here is absolutely vital. It all starts with 2 fresh beef patties hitting a hot flat grill. And that flat grill, it's essential. It allows the meat to develop this rich, beautifully browned crust on the outside while locking in a perfectly juicy interior. This contrast, that deeply savory outer crust combined with the tender, juicy inside, is the absolute bedrock of everything else we're about to build.
Section 2. Adding the melt, the creamy upgrade.
Stepping up from our foundation, it's pretty fascinating how just a single ingredient totally alters the experience. Experts note, American cheese has been a favorite choice for burgers in the United States for decades because it melts evenly and adds a smooth, slightly salty flavor without overpowering the meat. So as the burger cooks, those slices of American cheese actually soften right over the hot patties, creating this luxurious, creamy layer that seamlessly blends right into the hot beef. It's a classic 20th century diner staple that elevates the savory notes of the fresh meat instead of masking them. And just like our blank canvas, you can still choose any combination of free toppings, meaning your cheeseburger is beautifully unique to your taste.
Section 3. The crispy contrast, a textural pivot. So, if the cheeseburger was all about adding that creamy melt, adding bacon takes us in a completely different direction. On one side, we have our incredibly soft bun and juicy flat-grilled beef patties. But then, on the other, we introduce the satisfying crunch and deep smoky aroma of crispy smoked bacon. This combination brings a stark, highly enjoyable contrast to the mouthfeel. Honestly, there's no wonder bacon became such a popular burger topping in American diners back in the 20th century. This exact textural interplay is exactly why it's still one of the most requested additions today.
But wait, you can't just throw any bacon on a burger. The technique really matters here. The bacon has to be cooked until it is crisp enough to hold its texture, standing up perfectly against the juices of the double patty base and that soft bun. It brings a concentrated punch of savory flavor to every single bite, making absolutely sure it never gets lost in the mix.
Section 4. The ultimate build, the culmination of flavor. And that brings us to the bacon cheeseburger, the undisputed heavyweight of the menu. It's the richest combination pairing the melted American cheese with that perfectly crispy bacon, all sitting right on top of those 2 freshly grilled, never-frozen beef patties. It is literally a masterclass in culinary balance. You get the creamy, you get the smoky, and you get the savory, all working together to create just an incredibly hearty meal. This is exactly why it's a huge favorite among customers looking for maximum flavor.
Now, even with this ultimate build, the philosophy of the blank canvas remains totally intact. You can crown this heavyweight with a massive array of free toppings. We're talking grilled onions, earthy mushrooms, spicy jalapenos, and a whole bunch of others, all at absolutely no extra charge. You can endlessly customize it while still keeping that classic, high-quality foundation shining right through.
So we've deconstructed the foundation, the creamy melt, the crispy contrast, and finally, the ultimate build. You now understand the additive architecture that makes this menu so incredibly successful. So I'll leave you with this final, mouth-watering thought. Now that you know the building blocks, how are you going to personalize your own blank canvas? Really think about the textures and flavors we've explored today the next time you're standing at the counter. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy building.